So, Huawei just introduced their newest flagship tablet. This right here is the MatePad Pro 2021. So it comes along with a whole host of new improvements, including a larger 12.6-inch OLED screen, a 10,050 mAh battery, as well as the Kirin 9000E chip. So this one right here has 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, and it supports both wireless and reverse charging. So first, let's talk about the design. So this one we've got right here is the matte grey variant. So in the center, you can see the Huawei logo, as well as a not for sale sticker, because this is a review unit. And on the top and the right side, you will find that the power and volume rocker are in the same place as the previous generation. Underneath the volume rocker, you can see 3 microphone holes, which is here, here, and here. And on the opposite side, it's completely empty except for the SIM card tray. And on the bottom, as usual, you will find the USB-C charging slot. Speakers are located on the left and the right in landscape mode. And the biggest improvement that I've noticed for the design is that punch hole camera is gone. So they've managed to fit it on the very slim bezel over here. So this is on the top when it's in landscape mode for video calls, which is great. So as mentioned earlier, the bezels on this are quite slim at just 5.6mm. It has a 90.1% screen to body ratio and the resolution is 2560 by 1600. As mentioned in the introduction, this has an OLED panel, which means that it has super great contrast of 1,000,000 to 1, which means that watching movies is super immersive and very nice. It's not just great for consuming content, it's also great for creating content. This one right here has DCI-P3 color as well as color accuracy of delta E less than 0.5. So that means you have really true to life colors, unlike other screens out there which has like delta E less than 2 or less than 1. So it also has a brightness of 700 nits, which means it will work well both indoors and outdoors. You can also go into the settings to customize your preferences. So you can choose from things like dark mode, eye comfort mode, as well as ebook mode, which is great for reading. Huawei also says this is the first TUV Rhineland Full Care Display 2.0 certified tablet on the market, which means it comes with a full suite of eye care features to make sure your eyeballs don't drop off after prolonged use. So another first for Huawei is that they said that they are the first in the market to put 8 speakers on their tablet. So they have separate tweeters and woofers, so it gets a very rich sound experience. Also, the volume can get pretty loud without distorting, which is much more than I can say for a lot of other laptops on the market, which is pretty impressive considering how slim this thing is. For those who want to enjoy their music in private, well, I've got some bad news for you. So many holes on the bottom and not a single one is a headphone jack. But luckily, they've given this in the box. So this is a 3.5mm to USB-C dongle. It's small, which means it's good to carry around, but it also means it's easier to lose. As for the mic quality, it's pretty decent. It does capture some environmental noise, but it's good enough for conference calls. And as for the webcam, the 8-megapixel front camera is capable of 1080p recording, which is good. You can see all your pimples, unfortunately. For the back camera, there's a 13-megapixel main cam as well as an 8-megapixel wide cam. It's capable of 4K recording and somehow he doesn't have pimples. For this year's MatePad Pro, Huawei has ditched EMUI and gone with HarmonyOS 2 instead. This is their latest operating system, and as you can see, it looks a little bit different. On the bottom, you get a very Apple-like bottom down. So on the left are your most frequently used apps and on the right are your most recently used apps. Even the slide down is a little bit different. If you slide down from the right, you get the control panel and settings, and when you swipe down from the left, you get the notifications. So if you swipe up from the bottom, you get all your currently open apps. And if you swipe and hold from the side of the screen, you open the multitasking menu. So all you have to do is click and hold, and you can drag the app onto the screen, and you can open a split screen. So from there, you can see a slider in the middle where you can easily resize the apps. And not just that, you can also go back to the multitasking menu and open 2 more apps. So these 2 will be floating windows on top. So you can open up to 4 windows at a time. Ta-da! And not just that, now the home screen supports widgets which can be resized. So all you have to do is click and you can drag to whatever grid size you want. This MatePad Pro also supports tablet to PC multi-screen collaboration. So if you have a Huawei or Honor laptop, you can use this to extend your productivity. So there's mirror mode, which you can use like, if you want to use your MatePad as a sketchbook and you want to see your work up on the big screen, you can use this mode. As for extend, this is if you want for like extra screen real estate. So you can get one screen and then your MatePad Pro can function as the second screen. As for Collaborate, this is good for easy file transfer, so all you have to do is drag and drop your file from one screen to the other and boom, that's it. And if you're wondering about Google Mobile Services, nope, it is not back yet, but no fear, just like last time, you can install APKs for all the apps you want. And this time we have Huawei MatePad Search, which is kind of like a search aggregator. So instead of going independently to sites like APK Pure or Aptoid, you can just go into Huawei MatePad Search, type the app you want, and it will link you to the most convenient APK there is on the market. As for Gmail, you can still access it through the email function. And the Huawei App Gallery is now also much more developed. You can get your usual apps like Shopee, MySejahtera, Touch & Go e-wallet, and more. As for Netflix, you can still download it through APKs and it works just as normal. As for YouTube, you can access it through the browser or through third-party sites like YouTube Vans, which I honestly don't recommend because it is completely ad-free, which means creators like us don't earn any money. But in any case, that is still the top most recommended app in the Huawei MatePad Search, so there's that if you want. As for Waze and other GPS apps out there that still rely on Google Mobile Services, unfortunately those are still not going to work. But then again, who takes a 12.6-inch tablet, plonks it on their car dashboard and calls it a GPS? I mean, you guys know smartphone one meh? But then again, sister brand Honor has already received GMS back on their newest gen of phones. So there's still hope that one day, Huawei and Google can be best friends once again. One day, who knows? As for battery life, this thing can go up to 4 continuous hours of 1080p local video playback, up to 9 hours of casual web browsing, as well as up to 17 days on standby. So let's say you want to charge it from 0 to 100, all you need is 2 hours and 10 minutes with Huawei's 40W supercharge. Besides that, it also supports 27 watts wireless charging as well as 10 watts reverse charging. Okay, so now let's talk about the second generation Huawei M-Pencil. Of course, a portable workstation is nothing without its accessories, right? So this thing has gotten a makeover. So it's kind of hexagonal like the last generation one, but slightly more rounded so that your hand won't hurt when you're holding it. It still kind of looks like your childhood 2B pencils. And one more thing that's gotten an upgrade is the nib. So now the nib is transparent so you can see the innards, and the tip is made out of platinum. So this supposedly prevents oxidization so it can last longer. Just like the previous generation, this pen also features automatic Bluetooth pairing. So all you have to do is put it on the side like I just did here and it will dock magnetically. So you don't have to worry about it falling off because this thing can withstand an earthquake. And this is also where the pen charges. And since it's going to be here most of the time, you don't have to worry about it ever running out of battery, which is great. Okay, so this pen also supports 4096 levels of pressure, which is great for artists, and it also supports tilt writing. So another feature that this pencil has is the free script feature. So this allows you to input text in the form of handwriting instead of typing where you can normally input text. So let me demonstrate. And go! That's it! And finally, it also has these features called Instant Shape and Instant Table, which works exactly how it sounds. So Instant Shape is like, let's say you want to draw a star in your notes, and your star is ugly, and it helps you turn it into a perfectly symmetrical 5-point star. And it does the same for tables as well. So if you want to take notes and you are drawing a table, right, and of course your lines are not straight because you suck at drawing, it automatically turns it into a very nice and neat table for you, and you can even add lines and remove lines with easy strokes of the pen. Let's talk about the Huawei Smart Magnetic Keyboard. So setting this up is pretty easy. All you have to do is align this camera here to the hole on the pad. So you just place it down and it will attach magnetically. So after that, you can use it in one of two positions. The first is more upright like this, and the second one is slightly more tilted back like that. Okay, so the key spacing on this thing is pretty comfortable to type on. It's quite nice. It has a 1.3 mm travel distance, so it's kind of tactile. I mean, it's also kind of flat because there's no wrist rest, but then again, this is a tablet cover, what do you expect? And it also has a function key and it supports keyboard shortcuts as well. So if you want to work on the go and use this as a portable workstation, it's definitely a must-have. I mean, you also know how hard it is to type on a tablet keyboard, right? I mean, tap the screen, who does that? And now we've come to the end of this video. Buy or no buy, that is the question. So overall, I think that Huawei has made a great offering for us. This MatePad Pro has excellent performance, it has a really nice display, super loud and clear sound, and it also has great accessories like this pencil here and the keyboard. The only downside I would say is probably the lack of Google Mobile Services, which may or may not come back in the near future. Who knows what the future holds. Anyway, this thing costs 3,999 ringgit and you can get it in matte grade. For more information, you can check out the link in the description below. And until next time, this is Stephanie from Salty News Network, signing off.